everybody! How are we all doing? Yeah, let me just turn the music back up a little bit. There we go. Alright. So we have a bit of lore planned today with one of our friends, the Cronin, aka Electo. A little bit of a content warning for today. We do have, so they'll be going through an operation today. Nothing too graphic, I would say, in terms of visuals, but I will say, there will be sounds of distress, just as there will be, heightened distress. So if you are not fond of that, or this will trigger you in any way, I recommend muting or waiting till we're done with that little area of lore today. It will not be the entire thing, I promise you, but it will be for a short little bit. Okay? Alright, now if I can just find... Oh boy, nope, that's not it. Oh boy, I just had this. Where is it? Butterfur, why would you do this to me? I love it when things just reload on me. Here we go. Alright. Let's go in. Okay. Okay, things should be fine, right? Things will be alright. Things will be alright. Things will go okay today. Oh boy, let's hope my adjustments to this damn thing work. Hopefully I've adjusted these damn things enough so it's not as painful as it was for me. Everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. If anything, this should help alleviate the pain, hopefully. If not, I do have these medications I have from Construct. The muscle relaxer will be useless, but hopefully that one will work. Hopefully. Okay, is there anything I'm missing? Anything at all? Should I get this ready? No, there's no need for a scanner. I forget, why do I have one of my scales up here again? Whatever. The sword. The Elding's Thorn Watcher. Should I really be having this on display like that? No. I do not wish to insult the Elding like that. Let's just put that in there and take out one of my Thorn Watchers. Yeah. Where should I put this little one? should I put this one? Where? This looks like a good spot. There we go. Alright, little buddy. I am tasking you with watching over the workshop whenever I'm not here. Okay? Good. Alright, so, should I get out my glyph carver or etcher?
Well, someone's been up to something interesting. Oru, are you there?
Oh, yeah. Hey. Good to see you,
evening. The runes?
Oh, trying to create some new wardings. Not really that successful so far.
Well, if it's trying to keep me out, it's not particularly doing a good job.
No, not keeping you out. Anyways, come in. It's cold out there.
It is. I got your letter.
Oh, well, that's good.
Is something wrong?
Just worried about something. I'll tell you later about it. It's not important towards this, I'll tell you that.
Alright. Well, the way you phrased it in your letter, willing to undergo the operation, what exactly are you planning?
Well, you won't need to remove the top of your head like last time, if that's what you're wondering.
Intriguing.
No, if things work right, the siphoner will be able to hopefully extract the corruption from you without needing you to remove anything.
That would be nice.
But I will warn you. This will hurt.
From a scale of 1 to wanting to rip my core out screaming.
Not that much. I mean, I had this used on myself back when I didn't have the current version up, at least. I would say I made 6 at the most. Out of 10.
Only 6.
Well, I mean, I was also pumping myself full of numbing poisons, so.
Is that a 6 on the scale of Oru, the person I originally met, or a 6 on the scale of the... How many years old are you?
That was the previous, yes.
No, I just figured with that much time your pain sense might be a little diluted.
Yeah, fair enough. Alright, well, whenever you're ready, we'll begin this.
Alright. So, what would I have to do?
What I recommend is, well, you can either come over here and sit down, lay down, whichever one makes you more comfortable.
In the name of your comfort, I might put my weapons aside then.
That's probably a good idea. I do have a couple of potions I can give you to help with the pain.
Oh.
One of these one of these is the one Ganymede made, I should say. And the other one is one I got from Construct.
And
one of them is Purity and Magic Sponge, of which should help alleviate any lasting effects that this will occur on you, while the Magic Stabilizer will help your magic stay level and not fluctuate too horribly. Which, for a being of magic, would probably end up having something akin to numbing. At least that's what I'm hoping.
Pretty interesting. Not a sensation I've been able to feel before.
Oh boy.
What?
Well, I've never exactly had to do this before, so naturally I'm worried.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't either.
Honestly, if you weren't, I'd be calling you crazy.
And here I thought you already called me that.
When did I call you crazy?
Alright. Purity and stabilizer. Suppose I could lay down. Actually, no. Sitting would probably be more comfortable.
Alright. Let me get this up here set. Come on. Hold on. Ignore me.
I'll wait until you're ready to take the potions.
There we go. Alright. So, how this works is that I now have to set the 4 dials for the silver ring.
Alright.
The first dial, I have to adjust to your size, which would be medium. Next one, I have to specify the body part, which for this would be your head. Third dial, I have to adjust its surface, which for you would be internal. And finally set this thing to its magic type, which would be corruption. Alright.
You managed to make me headless by this. Ganymede will find a way to murder you.
Oh, I don't doubt that, and I will fully accept my fate at that point.
Some say that's a worse fate than even deactivation.
I do not doubt that. Alright, something I recommend. As someone who has gone through this,
Yes.
talking is important.
Talking.
Distraction.
So, I see. What exactly am I supposed to talk about?
Anything you feel like talking about, I would say. Memories, experiences.
Mm. That way you'll know if you have properly broken my mind. What?
I swear.
Oh. What's wrong, Oru?
Nothing. Nothing is wrong. I promise. Alright.
Take the potions?
Yep.
Well, first time for everything, I suppose. Ugh, that feels odd.
Yeah, it's gonna feel weird.
It feels like pieces aren't close enough together.
As long as it distracts from the pain, that's all that matters.
Yes, I suppose so.
Alright. Turning it on in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that. Mm. So that's a 6. Alright then.
I hope I adjusted the pain to be a bit lower.
That is definitely unpleasant. Keep talking. Right,
Come on.
yes, I can do that. Give me something to talk about. I don't.
Talk about Convectra, because
The,
pleasant memories from Convectra.
I remember with my Lacagos. They they were my soldiers, but they were family as well. We were made to work together. They were, besides from orders, what I was built for, to take care of, to. Okay.
You're doing good. You're doing good.
But
We're about a quarter way there. Come on.
there were 2 others made at about the same time as me. We were still considered shiny. We would end up tormenting those around us. It was fun. It was. Why has it started to feel overheating? Is that supposed to happen? Oh.
No, that's not supposed to happen. Shit. Let me open up a door to let cool air in. Alright, you're halfway there. Come on. You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Warm.
Breathe and talk. Breathe and talk.
It feels like lava pools. Not the standard ones, the ones that would be even further in heat. I wasn't built for such things. I'd get dizzy going into them.
More than likely, it's probably the corruption trying to play tricks on you. Don't focus on it.
No,
Come on, breathe and talk. Breathe and talk.
Yes,
how did you and Ganymede meet?
I saved him. Well, that's not quite right. We were in correspondence for a while, but he got stolen, used as collateral, and my Lacagos went to save him. And then, since that, we were in even closer correspondence. We wanted to stick together, to be friends. He wanted protection. I offered it to him. It's been so long. I can't. I can't picture functioning without them. Especially with so many bots. My vision. Oh, what is going on there?
Final stretch.
Okay, I can't. My vision isn't working right.
I will.
Something.
No. It's alright. It's okay. It's okay. Breathe. Breathe. You're okay. You're okay.
Please, with chattering and be over with.
Almost there.
Oh, no.
Come on. Just one more drop.
No.
And we got it. Turn it off. We're good. Breathe.
That was unpleasant. Yes. Alright. The pain is slowing.
How are you feeling right now?
My leg feels loose.
Your leg?
I think I might have clenched it too hard.
Okay.
I do it, but my hands don't seem to be particularly even right now.
Okay. Let's scoot you over to the edge and I'll
Okay.
see what there is. remove the silver ring first.
Yeah. Wouldn't particularly be fond of that starting again.
No, let's not start this up again.
Who knows how much worse it would do without a target?
Make sure all the dials are set back to 0. Okay. Unless someone
You
says
sure
to
we
miss
can't weaponize that? I'm so disappointed.
It's nothing. Alright, let's take a look at your leg.
Yes, the strings have come loose. You are going to need to pull at the seam between my hip and my leg and tighten it properly.
Alright, let's see, is there any tools I can get in here?
He's a bit sensitive, so don't jab me or anything. Not unless you're expecting a jab back.
I could probably use my mana circuit melder for this.
Alright.
Alright, let's... Oh wow, this is extremely more intricate than I thought it would be, actually. Oh.
Not exactly a thing most people say looking at a 5, but alright.
Oh, hush.
What? I'm not allowed to use humor to get out of this situation?
No, you are. Okay, so by looking at the other strings, this one is supposed to be like this.
Going to need to put it a little more to the left. It's not quite catching right.
Got it.
Alright, that mostly feels right.
Okay.
Enough to walk on.
Yeah, let me try tightening it. Alright, there we go, that should be good.
Do another tightening. I tend to like them a bit more tight than most.
Got it. Yeah, I can use my melder to do this type of trick.
Better than me having to hunt down what spare adequate wire we have.
I feel like she would do a better job at this.
No offense to your sibling, but I don't exactly want them peeking up my skirt.
Probably not, but they are more familiar with strings than I am.
Right.
Should see them in their actual body.
Yes,
Although
I suppose that.
Guess you will at some point.
I suppose so.
You're not arachnophobic, are you?
No.
Are you familiar with what a drider is?
No, I'm not aware of that term.
Are you familiar with centaurs?
Yes.
Instead of a horse lower half, they have a spider lower half.
And the top half?
Humanoid with a mix of skin and chitin.
Don't see why they don't go around in a body like that anyways, then.
They're made of wither.
Right, right. Well, this body for you's a simulacra. Why not make something more shaped appropriately?
That's actually what they're trying to do. They don't exactly like having to send out shades.
And they're into human. Okay, didn't need that information.
Huh?
You said it was what they were attracted to.
What?
What?
Okay, now I'm confused.
I. Here I am asking you why they don't make a so called drider body. And you said it's what they're attracted to.
Oh, no, I did not mean that. Okay. Just a few more strings. I do not mean to say attracted. I said that's what they're trying to do. They don't like sending out shades of themselves.
Yes, they seemed quite unhappy with saying what they're wearing be inappropriate.
Honestly, when I saw their current shell, I was surprised. They're usually a lot more vain.
Well, I got an earful of complaining about it, so.
I guess they were complaining that it doesn't have a face.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yes, no, they are more opulent, I would say. Silver jewelry, all that. Fancy hair braiding. Never understood why they like long hair. It gets in the way. Alright, down
to some
the...
extent, I understand why one would want to keep their long hair, but I cut mine purposefully.
Oh, that string snapped, okay.
Ugh.
Oh, it's a good thing I have a milder then.
Oh, good, this stuff is difficult to make.
Well, if you want, you can use one of She's strings. Oh, please, they'll make the same offer.
Oh, likely.
You should have seen what they did for one of their pactees when they lost a limb.
What did they do?
They went out of their way to go to 5 different realms just to make them an arm. Hell, one time she actually hunted down a dragon that ate one of their pactees just to bring them back.
One of those things you can't quite escape from them.
Oh no, thankfully they were swallowed whole, so they were still semi-alive.
Semi-alive.
I do believe mortals use the term death's door. If they were in that acid for much longer, they would have been dead for sure.
Like I said, sounds like a bit of a euphemism for being at the verge of death.
Alright, let me just clean up the melds a little bit. Alright. It's not perfect, but it should work.
Feels like I don't have quite as much stretch where you melded, but that'll do. Thank you.
Of course.
I want my weapons back.
How's your head feeling?
Despite the fact it's freezing in here, it feels like it's overheated.
Probably from the corruption being removed. Hopefully completely removed.
Hopefully. No, I meant less in temperature, more in sensation. As I've mentioned before, I'm a cold body. I can, in particularly strenuous situations, face overheating. My head feels like that right now.
Well, if the sensation doesn't go away, I can take a peek under to see if any of the circuits were also messed up.
To be fair, it could as equally be the potions you made me take.
Also that. Well, I suppose there is a bit of a test. Yep. And now we finally have, after all this time, a physical sample of the corruption.
I suppose so. Now, I'm going to try taking off the Nazar.
Alright.
If I get too deranged.
Don't worry. I'll try to lock you down with this.
As tempting as that offer is, I'm not feeling particularly different.
Oh?
It felt as if I took off a piece of jewelry. Nothing more, nothing less.
Okay, let's, first off, here's this back. Let's go over here. To the warding I usually have Ganymede go over.
Alright.
Any different?
A bit of the dizziness in my head has faded, but other than that...
Holy shit, I did it. Holy shit, I did it.
You should congratulate yourself.
Oh, fuck, I did it. Oh boy, I did it. Holy shit. Fully managed to remove the corruption. Interesting.
It seems so.
Alright, let's get you some food. You'll probably need some.
Did I really burn up that much fuel?
I personally have no idea, but it's good to get you something. Hmm?
No, just one of your little companions.
Oh, yeah, my thorns. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's see. Mm. Ah. Some good sugar should do it. At least I remember Ganymede saying that they liked this for that reason.
Yes, that would be good for a short burst of energy, I suppose, yes.
Alright, let's also, do you want to take a walk? Make sure your stringing is done right.
Alright.
Anywhere in specific you wanted to go?
Well, originally my plan had been to mark out a couple locations in the city itself. Preparations and all that.
Preparations for what?
Well,
Oh.
if your readings come out properly,
Right.
as we expect them to, we're going to need to do something about that. Now, aren't we?
Yeah. You should. So far, nothing has come up on the divining table. Which is either good or really bad. Personally, I would prefer to settle things before this reality becomes a Category 5.
Category 5.
Yeah, Nebulous is already out of 4. That's really bad.
What level of bad?
The Elding set up a category system for realities. 1 means a reality is not a threat nor a problem. Peaceful, if you will. Category 2 means that it's advanced, so there's good reason to pay attention to it, but not all the time. Category 3 means that they have advanced magic or technologies and should be kept an eye on, or is a reality that we have put resources into, of which there's a couple that we have people working for us directly. Such as the reality known as Hollowmire works directly for us. Oh yes, no, the Shavriks are really nice people. Fucked up people, but really nice.
You'll have to tell me about them in a less strained time.
Category 4 is when 1 or 2 of us are sent directly to clean up, as it were.
Then category 5.
Invasion.
Well,
It's when all 3 of us arrive. with an army to clean up the mess. And if it's irreversible, we destroy the reality.
Well then, I better perfect my plans in order to prevent getting to such a point.
It's not fun, I can tell you that. But it's either destroy one reality, or that one reality destroys several others. So
you don't need to convince me. You seem to be convincing yourself.
I am, actually. I'm the balancer, so I have to deal with this crap a lot.
No. If we can get this done with I suppose in the grand scheme of things, localized battle, then it would be better for the realm as a whole.
It would be. Not to mention preferable. Normally, I wouldn't mind you all meeting my family. But in that case, that's the last way I would want you to meet May. As grumpy as he is, when he's in general mode, it's not exactly a good thing.
General?
Yeah, he is the one that mainly leads the army invasions.
Interesting.
Yeah, you remember my little thorn watchers?
Yes, I do.
Those are the ones we only use for surveillance. We do have soldier golems.
Well, I would hope so, considering the amount of technology you've put into this.
We have pawns, knights, bishops, rooks, kings and queens is what we've categorized them as.
Intriguing.
Pawns being the foot soldiers.
Yes.
Alright, what areas are you thinking about? Oh, that's concerning.
Oh, that is.
This is different. Oh, even their curtains are blocked up.
Haven't picked up their mail since whatever that holiday was.
I think they called it New Year.
Huh.
Wait, where'd you go? Oh, there you are.
There's just an odd amount of space behind it. Easily hidden, actually.
This wasn't like it before.
No.
Weird. Also concerning.
Did I bring... I'll work on that soon enough then. Let's see what else has changed.
Yeah. Oh, uh, hello, little soul. Didn't see you there. I swear, I don't like it when frickin' she brings souls with them. Purposely or accidentally. But I do believe that's Soul's house. Yeah, Soul's.
She kept offering me one.
They what?
Some form of a soul.
Oh gosh, they were offering you a thorn soul, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I swear, I warned them that's as nice as they are to their pactees. That's a bit much.
I wasn't exactly going to go accept something like that right off the bat. Multiple of the houses seem to be like this now.
Either that or it was like that previously and we just didn't notice.
Mm. The prison. That would be a good spot.
The prison.
Rile up enough people who are already upset.
Okay.
What? You act as if you've never thought of these things before.
Well, considering the prison I'm usually part of, they're already riled up.
Then it would be even more efficient. Wouldn't it?
Greta. Why is there a librarian down here?
Almost like people of all kinds can commit crimes.
No, they didn't have their name on any of the books down there.
Strange.
Probably visiting.
Odd set of decorations for a physician. No, there's... they keep expanding this. To some extent, I understand the insistence on ice if it is what you're made of, however. That doesn't exactly dampen my own feelings on it. What?
Nothing.
It clearly is something.
Therapy office closed. Well, I don't get why a therapy office has a kitchen, but okay.
Doesn't matter. Closed buildings, people won't be looking into them.
True.
No, I want to get a couple near the castle itself. This, of course, is presuming that whatever barriers they have can be pierced. A much more manual means of approach might be needed soon.
I don't like it, but maybe.
It's not like there's a physical barrier right now.
At the moment.
Then why not make a passage through before there is one?
This is true.
I've pointed out before, honestly, under a bit of the corruption's influence, that the walls here are all too fragile to actually be defendable. They clearly have something else planned.
Or they weren't expecting trouble.
No. People with plans like that have too much paranoia. Too much paranoia to just let their walls burn, at least.
Yeah, they do have miles, that is true.
Miles underestimates me, however.
I think Miles underestimates everyone.
And push comes to shove, I should be able to distract him at the very least. I don't need to win this fight. The battle must be won. I find far too many people forget that fact. Looks like they've done renovations. Additional guards. All golems, though.
Yes, it looks like they programmed the golems for brute force, not intellect.
Easy to deal with, then.
Assuming they take us up as a threat.
But if they do, well, there's more than enough preliminary you can do on that. Taglock works on them just as well as it works on me. Tested it out myself earlier.
Back here is a good spot.
It is.
Got it.
I wanted to see if I could get something higher up as well. There's a few gardens and such that doesn't particularly have defenses.
As for... besides Miles, I think... the only other adversary, if they do become that would be an issue, would be Kieran.
Yes, she seems like she'd have a great amount of both magical and physical might. One thing that I think is utmost vital before we make this attack, however, we need to raid the laboratory of Construct. Because Construct still has most people's blood samples.
Yeah, I'm still not fond of that.
No, neither am I. And I've brought it up multiple times that I wanted mine back. and nothing's happened. So if anything, that's nearly a guarantee of a hostile.
Yeah, we should make sure to get those first before siege.
Definitely. Likely send Lef or someone else who can sneak in and out unannounced.
I would suggest she, but their shell isn't exactly meant for combat this time around. Even though they do have their living weapon, they don't exactly have a physical durability that justifies combat at the moment.
Perhaps we should go somewhere else to talk about this.
True. Although we should think about what if they're in their lab at the time.
Yes. I think we'd need to run a distraction, rather.
Get them out of the building entirely?
A few armed guards, if they go missing, well, it'll cause massive suspicion and hysteria, but it won't be all-out war. A city leader goes missing. We no longer have a clock to work on.
Let's try our best not to escalate to violence right away.
No, of course.
This is all assuming that they are responsible, or there's a need.
Either way, I don't want them to have those blood samples. Too many people in here who would be harmed by that.
Yeah. They wouldn't really need to do much.
No. And though I know some anti-curses, it wouldn't exactly. Okay, Phoebus, you're getting out of there.
Yeah, you're a bit too big to be in there, buddy.
You silly, silly bat.
Ben, fell asleep. Okay, Ben, they're awake.
She's sweet, but not exactly the most intelligent.
Oh, looks like you have a little gift.
Yes, I had one. It was merely a well-wishing for their holiday. Slutta gave me something interesting, though. I didn't realize she was so good at metalwork.
Well, I did actually get you something as well.
Well, that's interesting.
Something more so for utility than actual combat.
She's beautiful.
You may not be able to use soul magic, but that doesn't mean gear can't do it for you.
Entirely. And considering how reliant some of the others seem on theirs.
Based on what I know, though, that won't work in construct.
Yes.
As they've said, they don't have one.
Makes enough sense. No.
But
I've also.
hopefully, this will give you an edge in terms of speed.
That and well as hiding myself from their vision.
I even made something for Ganymede, but I haven't really completed it yet because I don't know what to do enchantment-wise for them.
Oh?
Yeah, I wasn't sure if they were wearing armor or not. So I made them a full set of Karmat.
Oh. You are spoiling him.
I don't think Ganymede can wear the stuff that I'm wearing, but
No, most of the times that I've made sure Ganymede is in armor, it has been much lighter.
yes, well, thankfully, this is mostly fabric. Yes,
Courtiers
it's...
were not often built to be durable. You've seen the thickness of my skull. Ganymede's would be about a third that.
Oh, yeah, good thing this is... Yeah. It's mostly enchantments to create a magic shield for the user.
That could be incredibly useful. I like that. It's a good idea.
Yep, just a matter of adding the enchantments to it. Which I do have a few ready.
Yes, I'll need to think about that.
I have some water protection, as well as something called Aqua Affinity.
Well, at the very least, to my knowledge, none of the people in that city are particularly versed in aquatic magics.
Okay, you're a very devious one, aren't you?
Oh.
I think this soul might have been hanging around She too much. They're suggesting we put Miles into a trap.
Well, that would make the most sense if we wanted to get rid of him. If anything, something with illusions to make him assume he was being trapped in a similar way to previous.
Sadly, illusions aren't my thing.
Shame.
No,
Still, blinding him properly would probably be a good step in the right direction.
If anything, I could make a longer lasting poison that could make him ethereal.
Oh.
That way he can't harm us physically.
But we couldn't harm him. However, that is a good compromise.
Yes, couple that with inhibitor. Magic wouldn't really be something he could use.
I also think the more we'd expose him to darkness rather than letting him use the light of his magic would be optimal.
Oh. Right, I just remembered.
As opposed to dealing with Kieran.
Oh, yeah, Kieran. But yeah, no, there is something you should be braced for. Bori's back.
Is Bori really the height of our problems right now?
Considering what he did, yes.
What did he do?
It would be better to get the full story from Lef, considering they were there, not me.
Alright.
But they said something to whisper that may have put Convectrons as a whole under a spotlight.
Intriguing.
Saying that Convectrons as a whole were all suspicious of the city leaders.
Interesting.
It's a mess.
Definitely.
He has nothing to stand on, considering he was gone for a month.
Yes.
Or several. Ever since the meeting, which was, several months ago.
A while ago. Trying to figure a way to take advantage of that. Putting people on edge already, us lurking about. I'll have to find a way to spin this.
Yeah.
It's doable, just a bit more difficult now.
It's mainly just a problem.
Yes, it is. But now I'll make sure to speak to Basilev.
Good. Because Lef was in a panic when they came to us.
They were? That is quite unlike them.
Yeah, they said they put, or they were making a note for you. I don't know where they put it. If they finished it.
I have a theory, but you're allowed to come in.
I wasn't sure if you were heading in or not.
A few of these put mailboxes in front of their house. Oh. Joy.
Oh?
Apparently, Whisper is seeking out Convectrons to have a talk, in quotes.
Oh. Oh boy.
So the question becomes what form of deception I take.
For the moment, we don't know if they actually are, an enemy. Or if we should be worried.
Yes, but about suspicions. I think it would go more optimally if I spoke with Whisper directly, rather than in a group. In a group, we would all be vulnerable to a single attack. On my own, if need be, I could attack without abandon. However, I doubt it will come to that. Most of the leaders know that if I were to go missing, everyone else would be brought into a true panic.
A lot of us would raise up arms.
Exactly. if I go on my own. Anything going badly on either side would be a political maneuver, and likely a declaration of war. So it seems a bit smarter to go about it that way.
Yeah.
Say I'm appearing as representative. I've done it before.
It would also be best to feign ignorance, so to speak. No suspicion.
No suspicion is too little. It's too obvious that I'm bluffing. Having some suspicion, perhaps that they do not think the plight of Convectra is worth their time, on the other hand, is a reasonable suspicion for someone they know plots, without being actively hostile to them.
You could claim that you're under suspicion of them because they haven't really been doing anything.
Exactly.
And that's understandable.
Entirely so. It's a suspicion that in their bureaucracy, I'm not worth their time. And that isn't a declaration of war at all.
No, it's not. There would be suspicion, yes, but not what they're thinking about.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, you're under suspicion, but not okay.
Because it's fairly clear if anyone knows me to some extent. Of course I'm suspicious. Of course I have suspicions about everyone and anyone. To have no suspicions would be truly suspicious. Have reasonable suspicions. Well, that's just how I exist.
Suspicious of everyone until they're not.
I suppose. Why, do I have a reason to be suspicious of you right now?
Nothing to my knowledge.
No. You claimed I could order you around. You're one of my soldiers now.
Oh boy.
That makes you my responsibility. What? What's percolating in that mind of yours?
Never been called a soldier before.
Like I said, first time for everything. No. If I claim someone like that, it's very hard to get rid of me.
Yes, well, good luck getting rid of she. Oh, you think I'm joking. You're stuck with them until you tell them no.
Not quite sure what to make of them yet, but in the current situation, it's definitely a mutualistic arrangement. And I was planning on protecting you anyways.
Yes, well, they like to have their insurances.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure people follow through on their truths.
There's something I should be worried about.
No. With them? No. The only way you should be worried is if you cross them. Then be worried.
Not particularly planning on it.
Then you have nothing to worry about.
No. Even with that power differential, I was able to get them to stop doing things that would put you in danger. It's true. They were gallivanting in your body.
Of which they gave me an earful. They don't like being in my vessels. Ever. I'm used to being made out of poison. They are not.
I suppose that would be unpleasant if you aren't used to it.
Yeah, they've described it as the wrong type of cold.
Intriguing. No. So long as this pact isn't expecting me to harm those in mine, I have no issue with it for the time being. Other than them continuously trying to refer to me as their child, but
Oh, they're still doing that.
a social annoyance.
Well, I've already told you what they've done for their previous pactees, so.
Yes, it sounds as if they get quite attached.
For a spider, they don't like making connections all that much. More people means more attachments. More attachments means more chances of getting hurt in their eyes.
Well, I'll have to meet these other pactees at some point.
Assuming you plan to stay at the very least. After all, they're all housed in their den.
Hidden away.
Not hidden, just where they chose to live, I guess. It's pretty comfy in there, actually.
I think I'd likely go mad.
You'd go mad in a manner.
No. Without any conflict, I don't think I'd continue to function properly.
Well, if you want work, talk to May.
Yes, your general sibling.
He's also the hunter, so. The one who goes after the lost that escape.
Still, this is something to worry about in what? A couple centuries? I have time. Well, I suppose the number depends on how good a job we do here.
Because if we can't succeed here, then things are irreversible. it's not good to think like that.
No, nor is it my job to think about that. My current purpose is to prevent this from happening and perhaps even reverse it. Beyond that, well, that's above my head, isn't it?
That's honestly a version of me I don't want you to meet.
Well, if I'm tied to protect you like this, eventually I will. That definition of protection will likely shift. Pulling a force of nature from the brink.
Yes, it'll be a whole new problem if this ends up being the gods. Because if it is, that means they have to be destroyed. Which also means that for a time, at least, this reality will be godless. That's a different problem entirely.
Yes.
Basically means we'll have to wait on new gods.
Perhaps we focus on the problem at hand right now, though.
Oh, yeah.
You get so caught up in the minutiae of what could be if we fail, we don't make a plan to succeed.
Yeah, that is true.
Now, let's see what I can do about that meeting and make sure I speak with Lef and get a proper plan to rally people around.
Is there anywhere else we should check?
For the source? Or...
Well, yes, that, but anywhere else we should check for hide holes, if you will.
Well, there is something I was thinking of. I mentioned physical ways to get in. Did you know that the entire city is just riddled with caverns beneath it?
I did, when I was first starting here.
Come with me.
Oh, what have you been up to?
Making plans, that's all. It goes down quite a decent ways.
Oh?
I need to make sure to actually connect such things properly before we take action, but any purely magical barriers, well, it won't stop most of us.
Oh wow, you were not joking. This goes really deep.
One of the places to get off is here, but yes. No, natural dragons, spawners.
Oh, there's a grave.
That might be slightly related to, well, I did some testing with the tag locking of golems.
Oh, interesting.
You know vampiric magic, yes?
That I do.
If you link that to something as physically durable as a golem, it's quite impressive.
Oh?
Let alone one with that much bulk.
And if you make it even bulkier...
You don't even need to risk your resources. Have them there, have them with something they can repair themselves with. I told you Lef had a capybara.
Nope.
Didn't I?
That you did. And of course there are also sigils for mending as well. Oh, you sealed up the wall.
Oh! You were still in there, I'm sorry. It's like, where are you? No. Not many people come down here. Not many people notice things like that.
I mean, how would you?
Exactly. Only ones who would are Lef, who I'm fairly certain already knows. And Tenebris, but Tenebris isn't exactly fond of phasing through things with this much fire.
No. Should we keep Zlata in the dark?
Eventually, we're going to have to tell her something. But I want more information before we do that.
Yeah. Because last time I was with her, she was asking questions, and I was trying to dodge them best I could. It's obvious she wants to know, but...
Yes. Unfortunately, she doesn't seem to have much skills on keeping that information quiet.
I'm not worried about that. It's mostly how she's gonna handle the truth that's the problem. Oh yeah, Zlata, don't worry. You do have a god, but she doesn't give a shit about your existence. And surprise, there's a confirmed afterlife.
Speaking of telling people, though...
Oh yes, I've already told Tenebris.
I was speaking about Ganymede.
Oh.
I kept things simple and undetailed as you had requested, but he needs to know.
About what I actually am?
Yes. He deserves to know. I told him to some extent of a magical metamorphosis and your sibling arriving. But beyond that, I trust you to tell him.
I will.
Good.
I'm just hoping that he doesn't hear from she first.
Better be careful. She's arrived in my room a few times.
Oh, for the love of... By the cursed crown, I swear they need to learn privacy.
No. Apparently, they made sure that no one else was in the room before I arrived there. So they have some grasp.
Still. Either that or they didn't think that was your actual room.
Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. They get what is called tunnel vision.
Honestly, for sleeping quarters, it's fairly luxurious.
Comparative to everyone else's, yeah.
Comparative to what I'm used to. Ganymede wanted to make sure we had shared quarters, and I wanted to make sure they were up to his standards. I don't think they are.
If you think that's luxurious, wait until you see their den. Like I said, they're very vain.
I suppose. No shame in enjoying things like that, so long as it doesn't get in the way. What?
Nothing.
Am I not also allowed to have an appreciation for beautiful things?
No, just taking in the moments while we can, that's all. Just in case things go to war.
True. There is no purpose to conflict without a peace that you are defending. Even if I enjoy conflict. I suppose that's a bit of a contradiction, but it runs true. Why? What do you think?
I'm mainly just really hoping that they aren't the enemy.
Yes, then we can work together to get rid of whatever is.
It also just doesn't make sense, honestly.
How so?
Why would they do this to their own reality?
Well,
I mean, they're not the ones taking in the magic, so what would be the point? And gods have no reason for extra magic either.
Unless they were promised something. Promised something out of this realm that's been draining.
Well, if these gods keep pushing, they'll have to deal with the Elding.
Just theorizing, though. Whatever this mechanism is, we'll find a way to reverse it.
We have to.
Exactly. Feels strange having my head be this clear.
Why, used to it being too fogged up?
The previous treatment, it felt more clear, but slow and sluggish. And before that, was like there was all this errant data going through my head. Voices, orders.
Oh yeah, I should probably reconnect that circuit. Do you want to go do that now before I forget again?
Alright.
Alright.
Does this involve opening the app?
It does. I know, you don't like it.
Not particularly.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking that you had seen all parts of my internals today. Consider yourself one of the lucky few who has, and wasn't an enemy.
Oh boy, that nether bed is still there.
Oh. Yes, I saw it earlier.
Are you still mad?
Oh, it definitely is. They're
Oh, yeah,
naturally aggressive.
I'm just gonna go down this way.
No, bribe it with food. They become putty in your hands.
I've tried that, and I thought I was the food.
Well, what did you try to feed it?
Let's see. Fish.
They prefer fruit and plants, actually.
Good to know.
Sweet tooths.
I know.
Yes, it's just unpleasant.
I'll try to make this quick.
To feel someone rooting around in there.
Yep, just keep still.
Working on it. Oh, I'm probably batting you.
Well, the corruption is gone by the look of it so far. Which means I can mend this nice and cleanly.
Alright, tell me when.
Alright, how does that feel?
A bit better? Interesting.
Everything okay?
Yes, I think so.
Anything else feeling off while I have you open? Well, I highly doubt I'll be able to take a look inside it again later, so may as well.
No, I don't think there's anything in my head that needs poking at right now.
Alright, then you can put your head back on.
Good. Yeah.
Can you see how many fingers I'm holding up?
I'm presuming too.
That is correct. Alright, yep. Vision seems to be working just fine, so.
Good. Wouldn't want that actually failing me.
Well, I remember you saying something about your vision earlier, so wanted to make sure.
That stopped happening once the corruption was actually out.
I know, but you can never be sure.
No. My old eyes fairly set in properly. My quote-unquote newer one. It's fitting as well as it does. Wasn't mine originally.
Oh yeah, before I forget, what else did she give you? You said they also tried to give you something. What else?
Fort armor.
Okay, that's pretty standard.
What exactly did they give me? Information, mainly.
What kind?
Some about themselves, some about what they think is happening here. They gave some in exchange in order to catch them up on what they missed from your perspective. Apparently the connection was quite tenuous for a while.
Yeah, that tends to happen while the vessel's being forced to awaken.
No. It seems somehow I've quite amused them.
I don't think they would have asked for a pact if you didn't.
Well,
Quote unquote boring people tend to go under their radar.
their sense of humor aside. No, wasn't a unpleasant conversation. Even if they did keep bringing up that form so mighty.
Yeah, I can't say they've ever offered that before.
Have they ever had a pact without a soul?
No.
They seem to think it was some sort of deficit for me. I hardly see how, but there are other ways to communicate.
Yes, well, our main language, if you will, is soul to soul, so.
Seeing me as this poor thing that can't communicate properly.
At that point, I think it'd just be efficiency.
I suppose.
Hmm.
No, that seemed like not the type of alteration to my being to take lightly.
It's not. Those things are permanent. Well, I can assure you they aren't going to force it on you.
Yes, I assumed that from the conversation and me leaving without one.
Can't say I know what would happen if you actually accepted it.
I don't know either. I don't know what would happen to me.
I have no idea what it's like for a being without one to suddenly have a soul, so.
I know I'm sentient, sapient, and functional. I don't see a need to alter that.
Well, as long as you remain Pacty, that offer will always be on the table. So, especially if you plan on sticking around.
Like I said, a bit hard to get rid of me. No. And who knows, maybe it'll add a couple thousand years to my lifespan. What? You're staring
Nothing.
at me.
Oh, no, just blank staring, I guess. Apologies.
It's
Just,
not like I have anything to look forward to after an expiration date.
yes, well, let's hope that doesn't happen soon.
No, that would be unpleasant.
It would.
I have people I still want to protect. I have a purpose. It's no reason to not keep going.
I know it's not made out of. I know it's not gem. But how do you feel about a Cinium body?
Explain.
It's the metal that we use.
I don't know how that would end up reacting with my own magic.
Well, it's a living metal, so.
Intriguing.
Yes, it's the. Actually, it's what our thorns, our weapons, and well, everything is made out of.
I believe to some extent, though I don't wish to replace my own pieces right now.
I know, it's just
But
in case something does happen to your current body.
if I retain my core, the structures of my cranium, and the structures of my engraving, you could still argue that device is me. You seem not to like that wording.
Oh, sorry, what?
You seem not to like that wording. Device.
Not exactly the biggest fan of referring to people as tools, or any form of tool.
I am, though.
Still just doesn't sit right.
I'm not a living being. I don't have a soul.
I know, but that doesn't mean it sits right.
Why not?
Tools are meant to be disregarded and thrown away when they aren't of any use. I do not
And yet
see
I
my
function.
friends as that. Therefore, I don't like the wording of it.
I have a function and I continue to function. And part of that function is protecting you. So I don't see any reason for you to discard of me.
I think that might be why they were trying to give you a soul.
Oh.
So that way no one can think of you as a tool.
I don't see why it's such a big deal. But I suppose if it's important to you folk, I'll try to keep that in mind.
Some scars don't heal, Electo.
Mm-hmm.
The one that they hold on to the most definitely has not.
I suppose I just never saw a reason to call myself a living thing. As I said, sapient, sentient, and functional. I don't even know if the way I think, or if I truly do think, is anywhere close to how you do.
I have no way to confirm that.
Nor do I. Well, not unless you really wanted to pry my head open, but...
I think Ganymede would kill me if I did that.
Yes, maybe. Yes. Potentially. You wouldn't be waking up some morning. I don't know, depends how well you put me back together. Not the time.
No, just thinking.
Do feel free to share your thoughts. Your wings look so much healthier now.
Do they?
They do.
How so?
The musculature, the way you carry them. It's good to see your body being more functional.
Well, it's good to not be in pain just by trying to fly.
I'd consider that a fairly major malfunction.
Well, to be fair, this vessel was malfunctioning. Okay, I'm gonna take my scale off of the wall. There we go. Ugh.
Not
What?
a fan of holding it up like a trophy.
Look, it's just weird having one of my own scale. Well, a chip of one of my own scales on the wall. I still find it weird that she decided to fricking sculpt it into a mask and send it here.
Oh, I don't know. Sounds like a bit of a sibling prank.
Well, ha-dee-ha.
Make you do something embarrassing when you don't know what's happening.
Actually, can you help me with something?
Of course. What is it?
This vessel hasn't exactly gotten combat training since it woke up.
Oh. I'd be willing to.
Alright, I think there was a good enough spot over by the castle.
Right, their so-called tennis court.
personally haven't really been up there yet.
Why they felt the need to insult me for being concerned when there were explosions in the middle of the night, I don't know.
I could not tell you.
It's like, oh no, you actively got a threat earlier today. How dare I move to respond to an explosion?
Alright, shall we change our ears real quick?
Oh, yes.
Alright. Sorry, just thinking really hard right now.
Yes, there's a lot to be on our minds.
Sadly, there is. So how's that dagger holding?
Oh, the one you gave?
Is it comfortable?
It is. I'd like to practice with it, but I don't particularly feel like rending anything from you. Not today.
Not much to really rend.
Just a fragment. Still, if it does, you might just collapse. Then there's no more Oru in this world.
Nope, then you would solely have to contend with she.
Oh, joy. No, she wouldn't be annoyed at all at me having done that.
Sling or not, they would be very annoyed with you.
Well, what type of combat do you intend this to be?
Just some light sparring.
Alright.
Something to get better acquainted.
Alright. I'm ready to begin when
why
you
are there
are.
so many mules up here? Go away. No, not this way. Anyways.
Ready?
Shall we?
We shall?
I haven't held a spear in a while.
Flames, huh? Interesting.
Nope, okay, okay.
I should have something for you.
Let's see here. Here we go. Oh, thank you. I was actually just pulling one out myself. Here.
Said I just intended to spar with you.
Need one?
Not to kill you. No, I'm alright.
Alright. Oh, let me guess, you have that vampiric thing going right now?
Not
Nice.
quite.
Doesn't look like I scratched you all that much.
So the fun thing with that armor and being a hollow, I can still carry the magical effects of it.
I see. So a fight with you without utilizing magic is a fight in futility.
Yes, it would be. Though to be fair, using magic if you found some way to sever mine, that would be my Achilles. I will ask for some way to reverse what you've done to my senses, though.
Oh, is that still taking hold? One moment. There you go.
Thank you. Ugh, there. I will admit, you're a bit harder of a target when I have issues keeping my eyes straight.
Thankfully, that is the point. And that's me without boosting myself with magic, too. It could have been worse. I could have hit you with some of my other venoms.
Oh, definitely.
You may not
don't-
be the same type of living, but there are things that can work on a golem or akin.
No, entirely. Even with some of my basic immunities, I highly doubt you'll be immune to most of what you can do.
Yes, well, thankfully, we weren't fighting during the day, otherwise it would have been a completely different match. This vessel doesn't seem to have the same type of durability during the day.
No.
Or at least when exposed to sunlight.
Your stances change, the way you carry yourself. You actively seem weaker.
Another side effect of what this vessel started as.
No. It's even a way that your skin constricts ever so slightly onto your ligaments. It doesn't look as comfortable there.
Yes, well, hopefully no one else catches on.
I'm not telling. I just have an eye for these things.
Yes, thankfully. I can teleport and I can fly away. And I do have a spear that I can throw.
Ranged weapons are always good.
They are. Although my abracade does feel different in this, so.
Oh. What feels different with it?
It just feels lighter in this reality. Usually this thing feels heavier.
Perhaps it's adapted itself to you here? Or perhaps you have more strength than you usually do.
Yeah, well, Psinium isn't exactly the lightest metal. Speaking of which, I should talk to May on how that's being harvested lately. If there is the potential.
Said it was living. How does it grow?
exactly in the best way. You know how there's a crystal that grows off of dead bodies? Sinium is grown from dead souls.
Fascinating. I suppose that would be a true irony if you made me something with that.
Mm-hmm. Put it through the right type of rituals, you can turn raw sinium into an actual working metal. Although so far, this creation is only apparently possible in Akrin. So far, at least.
Still, might terrify someone who knows what it is. Something soulless coming after them made out of dead souls.
Yeah, it's why I typically don't like explaining that part.
Going to have to do a little more than that to terrify me.
Good. And here's hoping she's drider form doesn't terrify you.
Question for the future, I suppose.
Indeed.
But if it truly is just that physical effect and not some sort of fear aura, believe I'll be fine. Startled, perhaps. But fearful?
They aren't large or colossal like myself and May, but they are larger than a usual drider.
Well, considering I don't exactly have a scale for that.
A little taller than Kieran.
No. I'm presuming for the body?
Overall height.
Oh. That's not bad at all.
No.
No.
Normally people are scared of she because of the fact that they're an archfey.
Well, I already had my slip of the tongue with that. Planning on being a bit more precise with my words, but no, that doesn't particularly scare me, even though the others tell me it should.
Oh, right. Do you know where to find them? In this reality, at least.
Believe so. Said something about being nearby to you. Not the exact, though.
Well, I could show you if you want.
Alright.
It's not that far from my house.
Having to deal with your sibling torment you right across the corner, then.
Apparently they interacted with constructs recently and immediately barged into my study right afterwards. Which thankfully they didn't torment construct. At least I hope.
I don't know. Construct seemed fairly wary of she, though I will admit I was a bit distracted that day.
Right there.
The tree?
It's a little drop of their domain.
Does anything happen when you cross the threshold then?
Other than them knowing that they're there, that you're there. They also have their little thorn watchers outside and inside of it.
Oh, I presumed that they would know if I arrived. Or, I mentioned Faye, Ganymede panicked a bit, trying to figure out the proper risk assessment.
The risk is only if you piss them off, really. Or if you lie to them, that's also them.
Not actively attempting to do either.
Other than that, the rules of their domain are unknown to me, so...
Not exactly something you two talk about.
I don't really need to go in there, so... They don't really like most people going into their little pocket dimension, so...
Well, they told me if I needed them to go there. That, or if I couldn't find them, tell you.
Well, now you know where they're situated.
And now you won't need to play messenger boy.
Thank fuck.
Now, is there anything else we should make sure to discuss?
I guess... Personally, I would rather prefer to explain what I am only one more time. So if we're going to explain it to Ganymedes, Lada, and Tenebris, and anyone else, preferably, because I don't like talking about it multiple times.
No, that's fair enough. Just keeping what I said about not having me be the first contact for that information.
I'm just worried.
No, people definitely will react with fear. That's almost a guarantee. That happens when you change a person's worldview. However, it'll be easier this time.
How so?
Well, for one, this isn't coming as a surprise to you. And for two, you won't be doing it alone.
The thing that people seem to be afraid of most is learning what I actually look like.
Well, if that's their problem, then that's their own goddamn business. They don't need to put their own beauty standards on you. You should be proud of looking like a sleek killing machine. You want to talk about beauty, the efficiency of the lethality. Though, of course, that's just my opinion.
500,000 years old and I'm still afraid of being rejected.
It's not like you're asking him out on a date.
Fuck, I
They're
hope
a
not.
dick about the fact you're a giant snake. I'll talk to them.
It's not being a snake that makes people scared. It's how large the snake is. I mean, seriously, I am currently coiled around this entire town 3 times over. Seriously, that's how I've been watching this entire time.
Well, hopefully you don't get too hungry too soon.
Well, thankfully I'm a soul, so can't exactly get hungry outside of a body.
Then I don't see what they have to worry about.
We should set something up, though. Not
Probably.
just for that explanation.
But to talk about everything that's happening as well.
Yes. Especially since we still need to inform Tenebris on what we found.
I'll start organizing my thoughts, make sure that this is all ready to go. Feels like it's going to be a bit easier to do now.
If we are going to set that type of a thing up, would you prefer to do it in my area or yours?
I get the sense that you'd have stronger wardings for yours.
Yes, but would everyone be comfortable down there?
I'll make sure they are. Or at least that they arrive.
I guess I could set up a fireplace down there.
If that brings you more comfort, I suppose.
Well, if I'm going to shatter people's view on things, may as well make them more comfortable.
So long as you leave a few shadows around.
I will. I could probably install a lava pool. I did promise my uncle I would do that at some point.
Oh, yes. How was he capable of this? Oh, dear. I'm getting the sense someone hasn't been told. If you're going to concuss yourself, at least do it where I can see.
Fuck. I forgot about Huo and Dahlia. Oh, they're gonna be mad that I forgot.
Definitely.
Boy, that's a total of 5 people I need to tell now.
Perhaps you should go through a list of people in town and make sure you're not missing anyone else you think deserves to know.
Oh gosh, there's also Vesper.
Who else?
It's kinda it, really.
Alright then. There's your list.
Let's see. Huo.
So that's 6.
Dahlia. Vesper. Tenebris, Ganymede, and Zalata. You know, times like this, I wish things would just go to plan.
No plan survives first contact with the enemy.
True, but this body wasn't supposed to wake up. Seriously, this reality was a fucking 2 before all this.
Well, makes for an interesting vacation.
Oh yes, a vacation that turned into a work. Things were going so nice. But no, someone had to get greedy and start absorbing magic. If it stayed local to this reality, it wouldn't be that much of an issue.
It would still be quite the issue.
Well, yeah, but I wouldn't have needed to be woken up for it. If it remained a local issue, she wouldn't have had to come.
Think about it this way, then. This reality is lucky you were already here.
This reality should be lucky that she was sent here, not May.
I will have to meet that one eventually. But hopefully, not anytime soon.
Hopefully not in this reality.
Exactly.
Seriously, you think she's a problem? Wait until you meet them when they're in work mode. Brutal, precise.
Sounds enchanting.
You would get dangerously along with them. Honestly, I think it'd be more terrifying if you became their Pacti.
Don't exactly have any intentions to.
No, and I don't think she would give you up either.
Well, that would be a familial squabble.
Fun fact, neither myself nor May have ever taken up a Pacti.
Fair enough.
Usually try to avoid that.
No, to some respect, they seem like the odd one out of the trio.
Well, they are the Fae, so... Too many people want to make pacts with Faes nowadays.
I didn't intentionally try to make one.
Mortals are getting more and more greedy. Don't make deals with anyone.
How was I supposed to know thanking what I thought was you would cause that? No, I thought it was some sort of mechanism inside your body that I was communicating with.
That actually was a mechanism. Just as a precaution, I make sure that these things are able to contact my siblings.
And that is where I made my mistake.
Well, if these things get destroyed, they need to know.
Not saying a mistake on your part. just explaining what happened, because I'm not sure you have memory of that.
Not of what was said, but I was disconnected for a time.
Yes. Was trying to speak with your body to figure out what was happening.
And during that time, I was trying to get back into my body.
And since the body was being cooperative, I happened to thank it. Honestly, you were acting like you were just newly made. That or experienced some sort of severe head trauma. My type can be a bit more mechanical in nature when we're freshly made.
I just realized.
Oh. Yes?
Oh, did you fall off?
I thought you went down.
Oh, no.
And I went to follow you, because I couldn't see you.
Nope, still up here. But yes, no, I just realized Whisper made an entire new house. Which also means new hidey hole. If they do become a confirmed enemy, we should check all of their residencies.
Definitely.
Before attacking, at least.
Try my best.
Let's just hope I don't have to fight. I don't exactly enjoy summoning my authority.
Most people don't enjoy fighting. It's the few of us freaks who do.
It's a shame that she's shell isn't able or built for combat this time around.
Well, considering it was a rush job, I'm not exactly going to blame her. Blame she for that.
Yeah, but their magic would be helpful. They didn't get to put any combat magic into it.
Yes, but their idea of medicine seems to be a weapon on its own. Though not one I'm particularly fond on being invoked.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a method that's been used since our reality. I guess things do change when the reality isn't focused on war.
No.
I guess in that aspect, our goddess actually did something good.
Withering was the key aspect of what physically brought down the Empire.
Yes.
Not exactly keen to invoke it.
Just like something can be used to kill, something can be used to heal. Although, to be fair, it did take several centuries to perfect it. Instead of using it like a sword, use it like a scalpel.
Even still, it seems to have a bit more of an adverse effect on my kind than others.
Yeah, Yes, we did not have gem blazes in Afrinlai.
Yes, you. Honestly, both of you seem rather fascinated by them.
We're always fascinated when a new species comes into play. Gem blazes, endearmen, dolls.
It'll stop being a novelty at some point. We'll see how your emotions last then.
Well, it depends on how often we come across them.
Likely not often. I wouldn't be surprised if there were a few scattered around. But
Well, if we do come across your queen somehow, we'll let you know.
you do come across her. I have more than enough words for her.
Sadly, fucking over an entire species isn't in a condemnable section of our laws.
No. She was found. Keep her alive enough to find another heir, then execute her.
Are there any?
She was alive, she could produce one.
But are there any currently?
Most of them were killed. I wouldn't be surprised if a few went into hiding.
Do you remember the names of any?
Well, most of the ones who weren't killed were young enough that they hadn't received proper names. If a blaze hasn't earned their name yet, they simply get assigned a name in order of their creation. I suppose if you want, you could call it a childhood name. Mine was Eta. Haven't used that in quite a long time, though.
Eta. Does it mean anything?
It's little more than the number of my production line. A practicality for the sense of language, less of a name.
This might be a dumb question. Or probably an insult. I don't know which. But could Ganymede be one? Or
Definitely not.
Okay, I was about to ask if they were specifically made in a specific way. Or if any blaze could be an heir.
No. The heirs would have to be warm bodies, yes, but also there is a direct process and treatment of their construction afterwards. They must be given the right resources. They must be given the correct growth patterns. And it must be done precisely, or those specific bodies that the queen made will die.
Interesting.
Ganymede wouldn't You can tell from the backs even. The engraving there, the inscriptions. They have name, they have their purpose they were made for. Those are the first two things there. Technically, it would be possible to rewrite someone, but I've seen Ganymede's back many times. Courtier.
Is it okay if I ask what rewriting would do to someone?
It would change major parts of their personality. It would change much of their mentality. It would reprogram them. However, if you were to do someone to that and try to make them a monarch, let alone a queen, their body would likely die in the process, as it would not be built to withstand the essentially programs that would take up so much energy from them. They'd die.
Alright, I'll make sure if we ever find her, your queen, current one, keep them alive.
Unfortunately, yes.
Then we'll give them back to the gem blazes to figure out.
No.
Thankfully, the Elding lets us preserve species to a point.
And even if it didn't, what's wrong with taking a couple mechanisms from the world? Just thinking, that's all.
No, I'm thinking as well. Possible. Wondering if it's possible to give a golem a proper soul at birth. Not really something I've thought about until this reality.
What purpose would that fulfill?
None, just idle curiosity. Now that she has offered you a soul, just wondering if it's possible to do it naturally. It wouldn't be that far off, given the fact that you're a being of magic to begin with.
Or perhaps of patterns that magic flows through.
Wouldn't exactly be an impossible feat. Just a matter of if it should happen.
I don't see any reason why it should. But I also don't see any reason why it would be such a crime. It's a touch philosophical for me.
Would this be a better question to ask Ganymede?
He'd likely have a steadier opinion of it than I would. Through my eyes, the fact I'm doing so well without what seems to be a weakness for quite a few of you, I don't know. I think that's a strength. Though I suppose with a soul you get that hypothetical immortality of the afterlife.
Do the positives outweigh the negative?
Saving a creation from oblivion.
Something to think about later, I guess.
Or perhaps saving a creation from infinity.
Theoretically, your species can already last forever.
Hypothetically. But eventually we do end. And that end is final. The way you've explained it, no one else here gets that finality.
All depends on if they go to the garden or not. Garden sprites are allowed, if they wish, to fall into a slumber to the point where they can't wake up. Eternal peace. Eternal sleep.
Is that what happened to the other Pactees?
If they died and went to the garden, yeah. If that's what they wanted.
Just the way you said it before made it seem like there was some sort of finality to what happened to them.
No. Garden sprites are well, I shouldn't say only allowed, are allowed to choose finality if they want, just in the form of sleep. Thus, we turn them into flowers.
This would be horrible as a flower.
Thus is why it's called a garden.
I think I'd be crap at that.
Thus is why she freaked out when a certain person came into the garden and stole a few flowers.
Oh dear.
Breaking promises isn't something they like.
No, that would get them in a decent amount of trouble. No, you said some of those Pactees fell to a kind of madness. It's just concerning, that's all.
Wait, what about madness?
He said something about it being a madness of a kind. It was a while ago.
Remind me of the conversation?
We were down by the hearth. I said that if I was stuck in the garden, I'd go mad.
Right, the idleness.
Yes.
Like I said, if you want work, ask for it. I'm not afraid to give any. You have plenty of it. Plenty of lost to hunt down, especially after all this.
Wow. As enjoyable as that sounds.
Yes.
That's a bit of a far-off concept.
Oh It also means that we have to go rescue some like gardenese. Because they're freaking out as well, I'm sure.
Oh, certainly.
Thankfully, that job doesn't go to May. That job goes to she.
Who currently has a vessel here.
Oh, unlike me, they're able to operate multiple vessels
Oh, good.
that can operate individually of each other. Perks of utilizing shades instead of homunculi. Just split off a bit of your magic and send them on their way.
I suppose so.
Not gonna lie, I kinda envy it.
Though I'm guessing that's something you don't want said.
Out of the three of us, I'm the only one that has to be fully aware of each vessel I send out. So I limit myself to one at a time.
Too much information otherwise.
Indeed.
Like how I feel if my parts get too far scattered then.
Yes. She's able to send out shades. May quite literally rips off their heads and throws them into the ether.
Well, that's gruesome.
Yep, and then that head turns themselves into a body.
I really will need to meet that one.
Yeah, well, here's hoping you meet them as an aspect and not in their true form. Otherwise, good luck talking to them.
Alright. Well, I think that's all the proper planning we're going to get done today, isn't it?
Looks like it.
I think I might head back to the hearse then.
Yeah,
Start making these proper plans.
Yeah, I need to continue going over the books Construct sent me.
Hopefully there's something of value in there.
I would hope so. They sent me fucking 12.
Not just wasting your time.
I swear if they are, I'm gonna have an issue.
We already have issues. That's just a complicating factor.
Alright, well, I'll see you again then.
Yes. See you soon.
Let me know when you want to set that meeting up.
Of course. Will do.
Talk to you later then, Electo.
Talk to you later, Oru.
You know, they are right. My wings do feel better. Are you souls behaving? I swear. She needs to stop bringing them with them. Just because they ask to come along doesn't mean they should come along. Hello, Yui. Yes, I'm talking to you. Although I guess it is just me that doesn't like being watched all the time. Oh well, if you're here, you're here. I should really enchant this at some point. I forgot to give this to Electo. Damn it. Oh well. I'll make sure to hold on to it for them then. I should really get back to work. Alrighty everyone, that's gonna do it for lore today. Thank you for joining in for another episode of Nocturin Lore. I hope that was enjoyable. My take? I'll keep that to myself for now. Make things more enjoyable. Alright, let's see. Is anyone live right now? Not currently. Oh gosh, menu won't minimize. There we go. Oh yeah, no, I can see why that would be confusing. Well, like Oru said, he hopes it doesn't come down to that, but you never know. But yes, that'll do for tonight's stream. I don't know when I'm going to be streaming next, but if I do, y'all know where to find me. Until then, bye-bye.